What about the patient who needs x-rays but refuses x-rays? How do we deal with this patient? So I've got Joe on my schedule today, Joe the plumber. Joe the plumber is on my schedule today. Well, Joe has refused x-rays the last 2 times he's been in. And he comes in today, and I say to Joe, Joe, I see it's time for you to have x-rays today. Is that okay? No, no, no. You never, ever ask a patient's permission to take an x-ray you need. Now, what I should say to Joe would be this. Joe, as the doctor has directed, I'm going to get some x-rays on you today. As the doctor has directed, I'm going to get some x-rays on you today. Now, let's say Joe says, nah, I don't like x-rays. No x-rays on me. I don't like those things. So then you would say to Joe, really? What's that about? Can you tell me why? Never, never argue with your patient, ever. Hygienists, don't ever argue with them. But ask the patient why. And if it's something you can rebut easily, like if they say, well, I'm afraid of radiation, then you could say, well, you know, if you're digital, you could easily say, well, we use digital now. You know, it's very, very minor now. That's great news for you. Or, you know, if it's pain, or some people just have an unvarnished obstinance to it. So anyway, hygienist, you would do your work. The doctor would come in to examine your patient, usually when you're finished. Doctors in the room, when you walk into a hygiene treatment room to do a hygiene check, if there are no x-rays on the view box or on the screen, you should ask for them. Start asking to see the x-rays. Where are Joe's x-rays? Well, Joe requested no x-rays today. Oh, really? Doctors, this is your conversation now. Really, Joe, what's that about? And whatever he says, let him say. Then, doctors, you should say to Joe, well, I understand your concerns. However, the state of Pennsylvania mandates that I treat you in a competent manner. I can't do that without x-rays, Joe. There's far more of the tooth I can't see than what I can see. And I must have x-rays on you. We will forego them today, but you be prepared. Next time you come in, we must do x-rays next time you come in. And you let it go right there. Fast forward 6 months. Joe's in again. Again, he refused x-rays. One more time. Okay, doctors, you come in then to do your hygiene check. You say to Joe, really? I thought we talked about this last visit. Whatever he says, then, doctor, you would do your exam and you would set the chair upright. You would extend your hand and say, Joe, it's been nice to have you as my patient. However, in the future, I will be unable to see you because the state of Pennsylvania mandates that I treat you in a competent manner. I cannot do that without x-rays. Now doctors, if you think that's a little too direct, it's okay. Send it to them in a letter. You don't have to say it face-to-face to them. You don't have to dismiss them face-to-face. But I think if you do it with the right tone of voice and the right tact, I think you can. But let me just say, this is a serious matter. There are documented cases right now where doctors have been sued by patients who had refused x-rays, and doctors could not diagnose certain conditions because they didn't have the x-rays. Then the condition gets serious. The patient winds up suing the doctor for failure to diagnose this or that, and patients win. Even if the patient had signed some form that said, I give permission not to do x-rays or something. It won't hold up. That will not hold up.